So, 2022 is coming to a close, and that means it's time to take a look back at the year and decide definitively what were the best games of 2022. That's right, definitively. This is the only end-of-year list that matters, okay? Fuck donkeys. I honestly thought this year was pretty decent for games, at least much better than the last few, so that's good. And just a quick disclaimer as to why God of War Ragnarok isn't on my list. It's because I haven't played it yet, because these assholes didn't put it on the fucking PC! Okay, anyways, let's get after it. Number 10, Vampire Survivors. This is the type of game that you boot up on a Saturday morning, and all of a sudden, it's Saturday morning. The following week. The simplicity of this game, I think, works in its favor. There's no deep, complex systems to learn, no bullshit monetization, no annoying-ass characters intent on wasting your time. Just press play, kill shit, and don't let shit kill you. This game's only $5, so if you haven't tried it yet, then dip into the kid's college fund and give it a go. Number 9, MultiVersus. It's Smash, but with better online. That's it. Okay, number 8, V Rising. V Rising is an interesting take on the survival genre where you play as a vampire who must venture out into a world full of assholes trying to kill you in order to carve out a plot for your very own castle, gather resources to improve it and yourself, and kill bosses that all give you a unique ability based on their specific gimmick. For example, one of the first bosses is a big-ass wolf, and when you kill him, you then gain the ability to, get this, turn into a big-ass wolf. V Rising is super fun on your own, but if you want to get the full experience, grab a few buddies, jump on a server that allows castle attacks, and have a blast ruining the work of your fellow man. Number 7, Omega Strikers. It's Mario Strikers, but with cringy characters. Nah, for real though, this game might have the worst character lineup this side of Xenoblade, but if you can look past that, the gameplay itself is super fun. It's basically air hockey meets Dota 2, and it's free, so if you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend checking it out. Number 6, Neon White. Neon White came out of nowhere, at least for me, but this game is one of the most addicting I've played in a very long time. The parkour is flawless, the gun cards are super creative, the art style is beautiful, and the dialogue is the worst shit ever written. Like, of all time. But the real beauty in this game is the same thing that makes Doom so great. When you first start playing, you'll feel like you're an absolute badass because the game's designed to make you feel that way. But once you figure out the mechanics, you become an untouchable god that flies through the levels with the grace of Aphrodite and the deadly precision of fucking Simple. You need to play this shit right now. Alright, number 5, High on Life. This is Rick and Morty the video game, except that Rick and Morty are not actually in the game. This game was made by the creators of Rick and Morty, and it top to bottom feels like part of that same crazy universe. You play as a human who becomes an alien bounty hunter when an evil alien drug cartel lands on Earth and starts kidnapping people to use as drugs. Yes, you heard me correctly, humans are drugs to them, like they smoke them and shit. You meet a talking gun, not this talking gun. This talking gun is an alien called a Gatlian, and also he's Morty.
Everybody lives in space, including you!
You also meet a bunch of other Gatlians that all do different shit and have different personalities. The concept is incredible, the game is hilarious all the way through, and the gameplay is extremely creative. The only issue that I have with this game that's keeping it a little bit lower on the list for me is the performance on PC. I played it through PC Game Pass on a 3080 Ti, and I was dipping below 60 FPS quite a bit. But even with the performance issues, I still really enjoyed the game. If you're a Rick and Morty fan, play this shit. And if you're not, get better taste. And also, play this shit anyways. Number 4, Spider-Man Remastered. And yes, I know this game technically came out in 2018, but not on PC, so deal with it. The really great thing about Spider-Man is that it makes you feel like you're Spider-Man. You know, except for when it fucking doesn't. Okay, seriously though, this game might be plagued with a bunch of Ubisoft tier game design, but the story is pretty okay. The combat is really fun, and playing as Mary Jane is the worst shit ever in a video game. Actually, it's the second worst shit ever in a video game. Stay tuned for next week's video to find out the first. But ladies and gentlemen, none of that shit matters, because there's one reason and one reason only, above all others, that you play this game. The web swinging. Whoever designed this carried this game so hard. This shit is incredible, and swinging around this amazing virtual version of New York seriously never gets old. I suggest picking it up on PC if you haven't yet, you won't be disappointed. Okay, number 3, Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb is an interesting little roguelite slash city builder game where you play as a lamb that, get this, runs a cult. The game opens with you about to be sacrificed to these 4 Cthulhu-looking motherfuckers when this 5th Cthulhu-looking motherfucker saves you and offers you immortality and magic power. In return, you have to run a cult in his name, recruiting animals, cooking them food, building houses and resources, sacrificing them occasionally in the name of your god, farming, performing sermons, and much more. But the city building aspect is only half of the game. In order to recruit more animals and gain resources to build things, you must go dungeon crawling through these beautiful procedurally generated cells that each end with a boss fight against a servant of one of the gods that tried to sacrifice you. Once you clear a dungeon 4 times, you will then fight the god itself in a bigger boss battle. I found the combat in this game to be extremely engaging. It might look all cute like Animal Crossing, but this game is a bastard like Cuphead. Okay, it's nowhere near as hard as Cuphead, but it is tricky. I love the characters and the building assets, but the animations are next level amazing. For example, watch this sacrifice ritual. That was fucking badass. I don't care who you are, you know that was badass. Cult of the Lamb kind of flew under the radar for me until it was nominated for the Best New Indie Game at the Game Awards, and I'm so glad it was because this game is an absolute blast. Alright, number 2, I gotta give it to Overwatch 2. Yes, there are a lot of things that Blizzard is not doing well when it comes to this game. The monetization is shit. The balancing team is so lost they managed to buff the best DPS in the game while trying to nerf her. The ranking system is all fucked up. They created this horrid bullshit of a game mode, and for some reason, they decided map pools were a good idea. But the gameplay itself is amazing. Overwatch might be the most creative FPS game ever made, and Overwatch 2 is just a better version of the first. The switch from 6v6 to 5v5 makes the game feel so much more fun. Playing tank feels more powerful, yet less oppressive to deal with for everyone else because you don't have to worry about getting hooked from fucking Narnia while simultaneously attempting to deal with the Rhine shoving his big-ass hammer so far up your ass, your breath starts to taste metallic. I've had so much fun with Overwatch 2 so far, but I honestly think that if they don't fix the MMR/SR issue and learn to balance off what high-level players are telling them isn't working rather than just looking at data, then this game is gonna die. At least in the competitive sense, and I don't want to see that happen. So please, Blizzard Balance teams, start listening to the players that understand the game better than you do. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're finally there. The best game to come out this year is, without question, Splatoon 3. Nope. Fuck Nintendo. Elden Ring. Ooh, this is that good shit right there. Elden Ring is not only the best game to come out in 2022, it's one of the best games ever made, period. This shit? Get this shit out of my face. This is the king of open world RPGs, and it's really not even close. There's more heart and soul put into the first area of this game than most have in their entire runtime. When we all started playing, we thought Limgrave was the entire game, and we were happy with that. Then you start playing, and a few hours in, you realize that, no, Limgrave was just the fucking tutorial. The environments in this game are the most creative and beautiful I have ever seen in a video game before. The enemies are all extremely unique and well designed, and the bosses, while not quite as good as Sekiro in my opinion, are still some of the best in the entire industry. Who could possibly forget the first time they saw Radahn's meteor attack, or Renala's phase change to that amazing moon arena, or when the Elden Beast crawls his weird looking ass out of Marika's body, or when this bitch did this stupid shit on you for 3 hours straight, making you wish that all of Japan got eaten by a massive purple gorilla. This is one of those games that only comes around once in a blue moon, and I honestly think it will be years before we see another of its caliber. Without question, Elden Ring is the game of the year. And that's gonna do it for 2022, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed and maybe even found a new game to spend some Christmas money on, who knows. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you all have a great holiday, and I'll see you next week with another episode of Video Game Cryptids. This one was an absolutely insane undertaking that took me a total of 3 days playing one game for 12 hours each day. So I hope you guys enjoy that when it drops. But anyways, thank you guys again for watching, and until next week, I'll be seeing you.